Guys, check this out. This is great. This is a market tote that folds up this small. Look how adorable it is. This pattern is, let's see the name of it. It is the Grace Market Tote, and it's by I Think So. I will put a link in the description box below. But look at this. It snaps here, unfolds. Look how big this monster is. And then you can just snap it over here. Look how adorable it is. It's got box bottoms on it, so it's not hard. The whole thing took me a little bit of time, like 2 hours maybe. Probably wouldn't even take me that long if I was filming. Guys, look at this. It's just 2 pattern pieces. There's 1 pattern piece, there's another pattern piece, 2 pattern pieces, and you get this incredibly beautiful market tote that I think would be great for going to, you know, fall markets or like festivals and fairs and grocery stores. You can even take this to the grocery store and get and put your food in it, like Sam's or Costco. Here in Georgia, they still put plastic bags in our grocery store, so we don't really need them at the grocery store, but you can if you want. But like Costco and Sam's, they don't give you bags. I mean, come on. This is adorable. So if you like to see how I make it, stay tuned. Okay guys, so I've done a lot of the prep work. This is my outside fabric, and what I have is woven fused to, wove to the fused to the outside of the outside pieces that I'm going to use. You can use SF101, woven fused, whatever woven stabilizer you want, or you can use a canvas fabric and not even have to stabilize it. I'm trying to make this as lightweight as possible, because if you fill it full of stuff, you know, you don't want it to be heavy, the bag to be heavy itself. So I have them right sides together, and I have them clipped on both sides and the bottom. That's the part we're going to focus on right now. And then for my lining fabric, what I have is the same thing, just regular woven cotton. I wanted to use water resistant canvas or ripstop, but I didn't have any in the color that I wanted, and I'm trying to use what I have. So and then what I have here also is right sides together. See, right sides together. And again, what we're focusing on right now, the first step is down both sides and the bottom. So we're going to sew these at 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. And then I have the flap, and what I did on the flap was I did stabilize both my lining piece and my outside piece on the flap, because I wanted to beef it up a little bit. I wanted to make sure it was good and strong, because we're going to put snaps on it, and I don't want the snaps to pull through, you know, and tear my market bag. So what I have is I put these right sides together, and I've clipped around here, and I'm going to sew this part, leaving the bottom open to turn at a 3/8 inch seam allowance. All right guys, so now what we're going to do is 3/8 inch all the way around. 3/8 down this one. Back stitching at the beginning and end, and then I'm going to go to the bottom. And then up this side. I'm out of bobbin. All right, new bobbin. There we go. And 3/8 on this one. All right, trim your tails. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my flap and I'm going to trim it with my pinking shears. If you don't have pinking shears, you can just knot your curves. I'm just going to trim it down to about 1/4 of an inch, so about in half. Okay, and then I'm going to turn it inside out, right side out, I'm sorry. Okay. Oh, it's over here. All right, I'm going to get my chopstick or my turning tool, whatever you prefer. I'm going to take the big end and I'm going to push out my seams. Really good. And I'm going to take this to the iron and I'm going to press it flat. Okay, so now I've got it pressed flat. I'm going to take it back to the sewing machine and I'm going to top stitch this. All right, I got my top stitching done all the way around it, and I basted the bottom closed. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to box our corners. So we're going to come here. One thing that I did forget to do is on the side we need to leave an opening to turn it. So I will be removing some of them stitches. If I can find my jack. Oh, here he is. Here's Jack. So I'm going to remove about 5 or so inches here and then take it back to the machine and reinforce. I'm going to leave it on this one because I sewed that one twice. Just big enough for my hand to get in. Yep. That's big enough. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to take my box corners and I'm going to box the corners. I'm going to put my seams together. I'm going to make sure they nest. So I'm going to put one way, one the other way. Making sure the whole bottom lines up straight. Clip the middle. I'm going to come out here and clip. I'm going to come out here and clip. So there's my corner, and I'm going to do all of them that way. So I'm going to come back on this side. Lay one seam one way, one seam the other way. Okay. And then on the outside fabric, I'm going to do the same thing. Lay one seam one way, one seam the other way. And then the last corner. Okay, so what I'm going to do also while I'm at the machine again, I'm going to take my flap, I'm going to put it right side down, and I'm going to baste it right inside the flap piece here. right inside where your straps go. Right side down, and it kind of just fits in there perfectly. And I'm going to baste this on at 1/8 inch. So I'm going to baste this on and do all 4 corners. Alright, so I'm going to, first off, I'm going to baste my flap on. Okay, so then now I'm going to box my corners. All 4 of them. These 2 I'm going to do at 3/8 inch. Okay, these 2 I'm going to do at 1/2 inch. I like my lining to be a little bit snug in my bags, especially at the bottoms. So I'm going to do this at 1/2 inch. But that's a preference. You can do it at 3/8 if you like. Why is it doing that? Alright, so I'm going to turn my exterior right side out. Oh, this is going to be really cute. Okay. And I'm going to stick it in the lining that is wrong side out. Then I'm going to come up here on the side seams, and I'm going to match all of these up all the way around. You can push your seams one to one side, one to the other side if you want, or you can open them flat, whatever your preference is. And go all the way up the strap. On the straps, because of how they have to be sewed together, let's mark up 3 inches. That'll make it really easy to do. I think 3 inches will give us plenty of room. And that's where I'm going to start and stop at on my strap, or my handles, or however you want to look at it. So I'm going to come all the way around here, up here, and stop at the 3-inch line that I just marked. Okay, so I'm going to mark 3 inches on this one. Now these are right sides together. So there's that U. I'm going to flip it over and do the other seam side. Matching up the seams. I'll do the same thing. I'm going to mark 3 inches on this one and the other one. Alright, so now I'm going to turn it into the inside part. Also starting and stopping at that 3-inch line. And do the other middle. Alright, so now we're going to sew 3/8 of an inch all the way around that on the parts that we clipped, around here and around here on all of the pieces that we just clipped. .3/8 inch. I'm going to start and stop on that line. Just go slow on your curves so you can maintain that 3/8 inch line. If you need to, you can mark it. I do that sometimes on a sharp curve. Just got to keep moving it around. Okay, now I'm going to catch my flap in this one, so I'm going to back stitch right there at the beginning and at the end, just kind of reinforcing it. There we go. And I got one more to do. Oh, wow, my thread is pulling right there. It's really making me mad. Let me check my bobbin and see what's wrong with it. Alright, one more side. Alright, now we're going to turn it through our hole, but let's leave our hole open for the time being so that it'll make it easier for us to install our snaps if we need to. I may go through both layers just to reinforce it some, but that's up to you. Okay, we're going to pull this out all the way. Pull your handles out. I'm going to go in the hole and help pull them out that way. That'll be a little tough. Let's see. Yeah, you can roll it through. Okay. There's them two. I think it's easier to do this on the side that has the stabilizer or the thicker piece. I don't know why, but I can't get it on the other one. I'm sticking my finger in the hole and kind of like bending my finger and pulling it out. All right, one more. Okay. I'll take my lining in the bag. Oh, it's so cute. So cute. I love it. Okay. So, in the pattern, let me trim my tail. So in the pattern, she has you putting these two sides together. And I think I want to put these two sides together on mine. I think it'll lay better on my body. Okay. So what I'm going to do, just straighten all this out. We'll press it and fix it all pretty in a minute. So these two, I'm going to take and put pretty side to pretty side, right side to right side. Move my lining out of the way, making sure nothing's twisted, and I'm going to sew this at 3/8 of an inch. Okay. Back stitching at the beginning and end. Okay. Then I'm going to do the same thing with the lining. I'm going to kind of just move that out of the way and put these right sides together. And again, I think I'm going to do this at 1/2 of an inch just so it's a little bit thicker, you know, a little more smaller and a little tighter in the bag. So, let me think. No, let's do it at 3/8. The pattern said 3/8, let's do 3/8. Okay, so there's that strap. Let's do the same thing to the other one. Oh, it's so cute. I love it. All right. So kind of just get it where it lays straight-ish. Okay, without, you know, any twists or bumps or anything in here. Let's put right sides together. Move the lining out of the way. Move that lining out of the way and sew this at 3/8 inch. Oh, my thread broke. Okay, let's try that again. 3/8 inch. And then the same thing for the lining. Kind of move the outside out of the way and then just kind of flip these right sides together. And so I'm at 3/8 inch. I'm going to put a clip on this end. And now that one's straight. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around the bag and I'm going to roll these seams out. If you want to, you can take it to, put it in my lap. It's easier for me to do here. I'm going to roll these seams out till everything's nice and flat so that we can top stitch the whole thing. All the same sections we sewed earlier. As you can see, I'm just like rolling the seams. I do lick my fingers. I know that's gross, but I have very dry hands. I should get some lotion or some water or something. But if you want to, you can, before you turn it, you can clip your curves. I didn't, but you can. I'm just going to keep rolling my seams out. Okay, when I get up here to where the opening is, okay, when I get to the opening, what I'm going to do is just kind of fold it in some. I'm going to clip it on both sides, I think. Go ahead on both sides of this just to keep it, so I can get it straight. There we go. Alright, so I'm just going to kind of put my fingers in a little bit. I'm going to open these seams up. I think that'll reduce the bulk on your shoulder. So you won't have like a big lump there. There we go. So then I'm just going to kind of fold it in. What I think is 3/8. This does not have to be perfect. I'm just gonna do it like that. So what I think is going straight. There we go. Then I'm gonna do that on the other side while I'm right here by the hole. Just so I can look at it and make sure everything's straight. I'm going to straighten it out on both sides of the hole. There we go. Open that seam. Okay, there we go. And that's what we want to do with the other side as well when we get there. Just keep going around and pinning everything. Roll your seams out. I'm not going to make you watch me do this. When I get to the other hole, I'll let you, I'll slow the fast forward down and let you see me do that side. But I'm going to come over here and do the other side. open this seam up. So that's what it looks like. I think it looks good. And then just keep going around. Alright, now we got the other big section to do on this side. So when you do this side, you want to make sure your flap is up. You want to pin your flap up when you top stitch it. So we're going to top stitch along here. If you can hear it, please excuse the lawnmower. The grass is getting cut today. Alright, so now we're going to just top stitch all that at 1/8 inch, and I do a size 4 on my machine stitch length. And as we sew top stitch, we will sew these holes closed. So where do I want to start at? Let's start on the outside and go in, right? Alright, so I'm just going to start here, a little bit past my hole, 1/8 of an inch, and I have it on a 4 all the way around. Alright, there's one side. Looks good. Now let's do the middle, the biggest section. So I'm just going to turn it over. Find my opening and start a little bit past my opening, the hole, and start again, back stitching at the beginning and ending. One more section. Let's do it this way. A little bit past my hole. Alright guys, when you get to your flap, make sure your flap is out flat, like this, and then top stitch over it. Alright, so look it over, make sure it's like you want it to be. And if it is, sew your hole up. Oh, that is going to be so cute. Love it. Alright, let's sew our hole up. Where's my hole? Are you on this side? Nope, you're on this side. So just pull your lining back out a little bit. Tuck it under. This does not have to be perfect. Nobody in the world is going to see this, I promise. So then clip it there. And I'm going to do 1/8 of an inch down that hole. And I am going to put it back on 2.5 though. Check and see that you caught both sides of it. Everything's good. Give it a pull and then tuck your lining back in all the way to the corners. Oh, I love it. All right, let's go put our snaps on. Alright, here we are. So let's put our snaps on. What I'm going to do, I'm going to use these gray cam snaps. I'm going to push my lining all the way to the end, making sure it's in there really good. Everything's pushed down. Line everything up, and then this is just going to be a preference as to where I want the snap, so wherever you do. I'm going to come down in the middle of my flap. Okay. And I think I want to do, let's do 1/2 of an inch. Okay, so that's where, you can't see that, can you? Alright. There we go. So that's where I'm going to put my snap. I'm going to need one of these, and I'm going to need the male end. So there's one that looks like a little donut, and then there's one that looks like, see, there's one that looks like a little donut, and then one that has a little pokey out part. So I'm going to use the male end on this one. So I'm going to put a hole all the way through. Stick my cap top on first through there. Push it down. Okay. Put my little male end on. And take my pliers and set it. Okay. the donut part and another one of these. I'm going to turn it sideways so that I can kind of see. You want to leave you some room for your flap, so once you have it filled up with goodies, you can still flap it over. So I think I'm going to put mine I'm going to put mine right there. So folded over, I have mine 1 3/4 inches down. Have it folded 1 3/4 inches, and now I'm just going to straighten it, make it sure it's centered. Make my mark where I need it. So right there. And I'm going to come in here. Whoop, don't lose your snaps. Where'd the other piece go? Oh, here it is. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to go through all my layers just to help reinforce it, making sure I don't go through nothing but this top layer and the lining. We're not going all the way through the bag. This time I'm going to put the cap part in. Okay, I got it in. And push it down and put my little donut on there. Now I'm going to cramp it. This may be a little bit difficult because you got to fit all of this through that little hole, but maybe we can do it. Oh yeah, we can get it. Okay. Put it in the base and clamp it down. Then I always make sure they snap. So mine snaps. Okay, so now we need to find where we're going to put the snap for when it's folded up. So let's fold it up. I'm going to kind of get my base up here, my bottom. I'm going to leave the flap up. I'm going to fold these down like this. There we go. I'm going to kind of go in thirds. So about there. There's no perfect science to this, guys, so wherever you want it at. So right there and there, and then I'm going to do thirds again. And that one quite thirds. There we go. There we go. And I'm going to put my snap right there. So you can see where the other strap comes out at. It comes out right here. These are the sides. So I'm just going to kind of center it with that a little bit. And that's where I want this snap. Okay. So this one will be easier to do because we don't have to feed it all the way through all that. So I'm just going to take my stiletto, poke my hole through again, right there on our mark. This time we need the donut part again, so we need another female end. Okay. The female end goes from inside to out again. And then push it down, put your donut piece on top, and crimp it again. And then I'm just going to turn it around and make sure it snaps. And it does. Okay? There we go. So let's fold it up again. Fold your bottom up. Fold your top down. I love these because you can just put several in a bag and go to the market, go to the grocery store, go to festivals, fairs, wherever you want to go that you buy things in, or you have to carry a lot of things in. There we go. Fold that up and fold that up. Take your flap, wrap it around, and snap it on. Ooh, I missed the snap. There we go. Look how cute that is. Adorable. And from, let's see what time we're at. So from starting out to cutting it, to finishing it, to putting the snaps on and everything, I have 2 hours, 15 minutes in this whole thing, guys. 2 yards of fabric and 2 hours, 15 minutes. Look how cute it turns out. All right, guys, hope y'all enjoy. Bye.